Crypto is no longer just for investors and tech geeks. Governments are jumping in. But what does this mean for the future of money? Let's explore the global shift towards digital assets. Hey there, welcome back. We're diving deep today into something a lot of you have been asking about crypto and how governments are reacting to it. Feels like things are changing so fast.
It really is a pivotal moment, yeah.
We've got this report. It's called Governments and Crypto, a global shift to digital assets. And honestly, some of the stuffing here is pretty mind blowing. Like right off the bat, ready for a fun fact?
There, hit me.
Okay, picture this. A country decides to go all in on crypto, makes Bitcoin their actual official currency. Any guesses which one took the leap first?
Hmm. A lot of countries have been experimenting, haven't they? I'd maybe say Switzerland. They're usually pretty ahead of the curve on this stuff.
Good guess, but nope. It was actually El Salvador. Back in 2021, they just went for it, and it's been fascinating to watch.
Yeah, that was a bold move for sure. It really forced everyone else to pay attention. Like, okay, this is serious now. But whether it's a model for everyone long term, that's a big question.
Right. It's one thing to make a splash, but the long game is different. And speaking of big moves, the US is stepping onto the field in a pretty major way. They're setting up something called a crypto strategic reserve, which sounds pretty intense, right? That's definitely not just another random policy.
This is huge, honestly.
hmm
For years, there was all this hesitation from the US government, even skepticism about crypto. But now it feels like they're acknowledging the potential, not just Bitcoin, but Ethereum, even some of the newer ones like Solana. It's like they're saying, hey, world, we're not getting left behind in this.
So, what does a crypto strategic reserve even mean? Does this mean like a vault full of Bitcoin guarded by the Secret Service or something?
Well, it's probably not that dramatic. Think of it more like a strategic allocation of resources, maybe through direct investment or by partnering with key players in the crypto world. It's about giving the U.S. a way to leverage blockchain technology, whether that's for economic stability, fostering innovation, even national security.
So, it's about the US getting a piece of the pie, but also about having a say in how that pie is made going forward.
Exactly. It's recognizing that crypto isn't just some fringe thing anymore. It's becoming part of the global financial system, and the U.S. wants a seat at the table.
Okay, so we've got El Salvador diving in headfirst, the US making strategic plays. Is this the start of like a global crypto takeover?
Takeover might be a bit strong, but we are seeing a real shift towards integration globally. And it's not just these two players either. It's like a whole spectrum of approaches are emerging around the world.
It's like a world tour of crypto policies, and every country has a different itinerary.
Exactly. Like look at China. They went ahead and banned crypto trading outright.
Whoa, really? Why would they do that?
Well, it's kind of a control versus innovation thing. They want the benefits of blockchain tech, but on their own terms. So they launched their own digital, it's a central bank digital currency or CBDC.
So they're not ignoring crypto, they're just trying to fit it into their existing system.
Exactly. Then you've got the UAE, specifically Dubai. They're doing the opposite, rolling out the red carpet for crypto businesses, trying to become a global hub for all things digital finance. It's interesting, but is it sustainable long term?
It feels like a big gamble, doesn't it? Like they're going all in on this future. Then there's the EU, always known for being a bit more cautious, right? They're working on all these regulations like MICA, that markets and crypto assets framework.
Right, they're all about finding that balance, fostering innovation, but also protecting consumers. It's a tough line to walk for sure.
So many different strategies, but one thing is for sure. Governments are realizing crypto is here to stay. And now they're trying to figure out how to get in on the action. But what's behind this sudden surge of interest? It's got to be more than just FOMO, right?
FOMO probably plays a part, but it's deeper than that. We're talking about a change in how governments view economic security. Think of it like a digital gold rush. They're scrambling for crypto reserves as a hedge against inflation, economic downturns, that kind of thing.
So they're not just chasing trends, they're looking for a lifeline in a world that feels increasingly uncertain.
Exactly. And let's not forget about tax revenue. If they can regulate and tax crypto transactions, that's a massive potential source of income for them.
Ah, yes, the magic words. Tax revenue.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's not just about money either. It's also about the potential of blockchain technology itself. We could be talking about overhauling our entire banking system, making transactions more efficient, more secure. Imagine lightning fast international transfers, tiny fees, total transparency. It's mind-boggling.
So you're saying flying cars and robot butlers are next, right? Because I am so ready for that future.
Maybe not that drastic. Yeah. But the point is, governments have to embrace this technology if they want to stay competitive in the global economy.
It's like they're finally realizing the future's knocking at the door, and they can't just pretend they're not home anymore.
Precisely. It's a really fascinating time to be watching this all unfold.
Okay, so we've got the why behind the government shift, but here's where it gets really interesting. How does this all impact investors, businesses, and everyday people like you listening right now?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Let's break it down. For investors, this increased government involvement could mean less volatility in the crypto market.
Stability, is that even possible in the crypto world?
It's definitely a possibility. And we'll probably see more institutional investment, which could push prices up over the long term.
So is this the green light everyone's been waiting for to jump in?
Well, it definitely adds legitimacy to the market, which might make people who were hesitant before feel more comfortable.
That makes sense. But what about businesses? Boom or bust?
They'll definitely need to adapt to all the new regulations, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it also creates a ton of opportunities, especially for anything fintech, blockchain development. Those skills are going to be in high demand.
So it's time to brush up on your blockchain knowledge because this train is leaving the station. But let's talk about the average person, just scrolling through their phone, sipping their coffee. How does this impact them?
It could change how you bank, how you pay for things, everything. Crypto-friendly banking could become the norm. We might even see government-backed digital currencies competing with Bitcoin.
So my morning latte paid for with government-issued Bitcoin, I could get used to that.
It's not impossible. But, and this is important, often with increased security and regulation comes more surveillance. It's the trade-off.
More convenience, but maybe less privacy. That's a tough one.
It is a conversation we need to be having. Each person will have to decide what trade-offs they're comfortable with.
Okay, so we've covered the past, the present. What about the future? Crystal ball time. Will every government go all in on crypto?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's hard to say for sure, but I think we'll see a few different scenarios play out. Some countries will embrace it fully, become leaders in this new digital economy. They'll attract businesses, really lean into the tech, and probably reap some big rewards.
The trailblazers, always exciting to watch.
Then you'll have others who regulate heavily but still use blockchain for the benefits. Control's important to them, but they can't ignore the potential completely.
Cautious but pragmatic makes sense.
And of course, there will be some who resist change completely. Yeah. But in the end, I think even they'll have to admit that digital finance is probably going to be the global standard. It's just a matter of time.
So no matter what, the future is digital, exciting, maybe a little scary at the same time.
It's a wild ride, for sure. And that's what makes it so captivating.
Well said. And you know, it's not just governments making moves. Remember that crypto strategic reserve we talked about? That's just the beginning for the U.S.
Oh, yeah. The implications of that are still unfolding. It sets a precedent, you know. It tells the world that the U.S. is serious about this whole digital asset thing.
It's like they're saying, hey, world, we're in the game now and we're playing to win.
Precisely. And that has the potential to create a huge ripple effect throughout the global economy. Other countries will be watching very closely, trying to figure out their own strategies in response.
So what happens next is kind of a mystery.
In a lot of ways, yes. But that's also what makes it so exciting. We're all kind of writing the rules of this new financial system as we go along.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it to be a part of this massive shift, this digital revolution.
It really is. And that's why it's so crucial for everyone to stay informed, to stay engaged. This isn't just about governments and big institutions. It's about individuals having a voice, shaping the future they want to see.
So what can everyday people do to prepare for this crypto-powered future? Any tips from the expert?
The most important thing is to stay curious. Keep learning. Keep exploring. There are tons of resources online, articles, podcasts, even educational platforms and online communities.
Don't be afraid to go down those crypto rabbit holes.
Exactly. And remember, investing in crypto is just one piece of the puzzle. Understanding the tech behind it all, blockchain, that's key.
Blockchain. That's a word you hear everywhere these days. But what is it really?
Think of it like a digital ledger, spread out across a whole network of computers. It makes transactions super secure and transparent. It's the backbone of this whole crypto revolution. And its applications go way beyond cryptocurrency. It's really changing the world as we know it.
Knowledge is power, they say, especially in this crazy, fast-moving world.
I couldn't agree more. And as you learn, start thinking about the implications. How could this technology impact your life, your work, even your community? The more you understand, the better decisions you can make.
So it's not about being a passive observer, it's about being an active participant in shaping this new reality.
Absolutely. And that's where things get really exciting.
Okay, I'm officially pumped. But I gotta ask, with all this talk about governments getting involved, does that mean crypto could lose its decentralized, head of rebellious spirit, that whole power to the people thing?
That's a great question, and it's a valid concern for sure. The initial promise of crypto was all about decentralization, a financial system free from government control.
The Wild West of finance, where anyone could be a chef.
It wasn't quite that lawless, but there was this sense of freedom, of empowerment. And as governments enter the picture, yeah, there's a risk they could try to exert too much control, stifle innovation, even use this tech for surveillance, censorship, and things like that.
Yeah, that's not the future anyone wants.
Definitely not. But here's the thing, the future isn't predetermined, right? It's being shaped right now, and we all have a role to play in that. We need to advocate for responsible regulation, for policies that promote innovation while protecting our freedoms.
So speak up, make your voice heard, be part of the conversation.
Exactly. Talk here like at officials, support organizations that align with your values, spread awareness, educate others. The more people who understand this stuff, the better chance we have of creating a future that benefits everyone.
So it's not about being afraid of government involvement. It's about making sure that involvement is responsible, that it actually helps people, not just the powerful.
That's a great way to put it. It's about finding that balance where innovation and regulation can work together, where we can use these technologies for good while protecting the values that make them so unique and transformative in the first place.
Okay, challenge accepted. We'll be the watchdogs, the champions of responsible crypto integration. But let's be real for a second. It's not going to be easy, right? There's any disagreements, challenges, maybe even some setbacks along the way.
Of course, change is never easy, especially when it comes to something as fundamental as our financial systems. There will be pushback from the people who benefit from the status quo, debates about the right approach, and we're bound to make some mistakes along the way.
So buckle it's going to be your wild ride.
For sure. But even with all the chaos, there's a huge opportunity here. We're talking about a total paradigm shift, a chance to reimagine how our financial systems work, how value is created and exchanged, how we interact with each other on a global scale.
It's a chance to build a better system, a fairer system, a more inclusive one.
Exactly. And that's what makes it all so worthwhile.
Well, how about you, but I'm feeling inspired. Bring on the challenges, bring on the debates, bring on the future.
That's the spirit. And remember, the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create together.
Okay, so we've talked about the big picture, the global shifts, the potential impacts. But with wind back on earth for a minute, what does all this mean for you, the listener, on a personal level?
That's a great question. And the answer really depends on your own situation, your goals, your risk tolerance. But I can offer some general insights.
Hit us with your wisdom.
First and foremost, this is an invitation to become financially literate. The world of finance is changing fast, and the more you understand, the better off you'll be. You'll be intimidated by the jargon. There are tons of resources out there to help you learn.
No more hiding from those financial statements, right? Time to face them head on.
Exactly. Knowledge is power. And in the world of finance, it can really make a difference. Start by understanding the basics of investing, budgeting, managing your money.
So get your financial house in order before you dive into the crypto deep end.
It's always a good foundation to have. Then, as you learn about crypto and blockchain, you could start to see how they fit into your overall financial strategy.
So the million-dollar question, is crypto a good investment?
There's no easy answer to that. It's high risk, high reward, and it's definitely not for everyone. But if you're interested, do your research, understand the risks, and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Don't bet the farm on Bitcoin.
Exactly. You have to approach crypto with a balanced perspective. Don't get caught up in the hype. Make decisions that make sense for you and your goals.
Be smart, be strategic, and don't be afraid to ask for advice from a financial expert if you need it.
Great advice. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. The crypto space is constantly changing, and there will be plenty of opportunities along the way.
So stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. Sounds like a good mantra for this brave new world we're living in.
I think so too. And remember, the future is full of possibilities. The question is, what role will you play in shaping it?
That's the question, isn't it? What role will we all play? It's pretty exciting to think about. We're not just watching history happen, we're a part of it.
Exactly. And that's what I find so inspiring about this whole space. It's not just about the technology, it's about human ingenuity, collaboration, the potential to create a better future.
Okay, cue the inspirational music. But seriously, how can we as individuals make a real difference? It's easy to feel kind of overwhelmed by the scale of it all.
I understand that feeling. But remember, even small actions can have a ripple effect. Start by educating yourself. The more you understand about crypto, blockchain, the bigger picture, the better equipped you'll be to make good decisions and contribute to the conversation.
So, knowledge is our superpower.
Absolutely. And once you have that knowledge, share it. Talk to your friends, your family, get involved in online communities, write about it, make videos, whatever works for you. Use it to spread awareness, start discussions.
Become a crypto ambassador. Share what you know, have those thoughtful conversations, help demystify this exciting new world for people who are just starting away with it.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of your voice. Talk to your elected officials. Let them know what you think about crypto regulation. Advocate for policies that align with your values.
So vote with your wallet and your vote.
Precisely.
And
And finally, if you can, think about supporting organizations that are working to promote responsible crypto adoption. There are so many nonprofits, advocacy groups, educational initiatives out there doing amazing work.
so donate, volunteer, get involved, nature impact felt.
Exactly. Remember, this isn't just about making money or riding the hype wave. It's about creating a future that we can all be proud of.
Okay, one last thought experiment before we wrap things up. If you could design the perfect crypto-friendly world, what would it look like?
Ooh, that's a great question. In my ideal world, crypto and blockchain would be seamlessly integrated into our everyday lives, making financial transactions smooth, secure, accessible for everyone. We'd see less financial inequality, more opportunities for everyone to participate in the global economy, regardless of where they come from.
A world without financial borders, I liked it.
And it wouldn't just be about finance. Blockchain could revolutionize voting systems, supply chains, healthcare records. The possibilities are endless.
You know, blockchain isn't a magic solution for everything, but just imagine the potential. Secure elections, transparent supply chains, a revolution in healthcare. It's about building a fairer, more efficient future, and that's something we're getting excited about.
Absolutely. It's about using this technology to tackle some of the biggest challenges we're facing as a society.
And in this ideal world, what role would governments play?
They'd be crucial, but not as controllers. More like facilitators, creating a regulatory environment that encourages innovation while protecting consumers and making sure things stay stable.
So, a light touch, but a guiding hand.
Exactly. And most importantly, individuals will have the power. Control over their own data, their own finances, their own destinies.
Okay, I'm sold. Let's build this crypto utopia.
What will be easy? It'll take collaboration, innovation, and a willingness to challenge the way things are done now. But I believe it's a future worth fighting for.
And that, my friends, is what this whole deep dive has been all about. Exploring the world of crypto and governments, uncovering the challenges and the opportunities, and hopefully sparking some inspirational one-way.
Remember, this is just the beginning. The crypto revolution is still unfolding, and it's up to all of us to shape the direction it takes.
So stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay engaged. The future of finance is in our hands.
And who knows, maybe we'll even create that crypto utopia together.
I like the sound of that. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Onwards and upwards.
So we've been talking about governments getting involved in crypto, but let's get down to brass tacks. How does this impact everyday life? Like, imagine waking up, checking your phone, and your banking app is all crypto integrated.
Oh, that's closer than you might think. We're already seeing some crypto-friendly banks popping up.
Hey,
And with governments exploring their own digital currencies, yeah, the lines are getting blurry between traditional finance and crypto.
so instead of transferring dollars or euros, it's all Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe even Dogecoin for my morning coffee.
Hey, never underestimate the meme coins. But seriously, the way we think about moving money, making payments, even saving and investing, it's all up for grabs.
Disruption, that's the name of the game, right? Crypto is all about shaking things up.
Absolutely. And with that comes both risks and opportunities. Think about financial inclusion. Millions of people around the world are unbanked. But with crypto, all you need is a smartphone and internet.
So no more gatekeepers, no more barriers to accessing financial services. That's huge, especially for developing economies.
Exactly. And think about remittances, people sending money back home to their families.
Mhm.
They often get hit with huge fees, but crypto makes those transfers almost instant and way cheaper.
It's like cutting out the middleman, giving people more control over their own money. But then there's the whole debate about regulation, right?
Right, it's a balancing act, isn't it?
Yeah,
How do you encourage innovation but still protect people and prevent all the bad stuff?
it feels like a constant push and pull. Governments want stability and control, but the whole point of crypto is to decentralize and disrupt those systems.
It's a fascinating dynamic to watch. Who knows how it'll all play out? Will governments embrace true decentralization or try to force crypto into their existing frameworks?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? And that's not just governments either. You've got big tech companies jumping into the crypto arena too.
Oh, for sure. They see the potential, the data, all those users.
Yeah.
It's a natural extension of their platforms. Imagine your social media profile linked to a crypto wallet. Send payments instantly.
It's mind blowing, but also a little scary, right? All that data, all that power in the hands of a few big companies.
It's a trade-off, no doubt about it. Convenience and efficiency on one side, privacy and control on the other. It's a conversation we need to be having as a society.
For sure. Okay, so we've talked about everyday impacts, but what about the bigger picture? How will this whole crypto revolution reshape the global economy?
Imagine a world where borders matter less financially. Money flowing freely across countries. Currencies not tied to any one government.
A truly globalized financial system, huh? Dream come true for some, nightmare for others.
Yeah, definitely winners and losers. Existing power structures could get shaken up. The whole balance of power could shift in ways we can't even predict.
So this isn't just a tech revolution, it's a potential economic and political earthquake.
Absolutely. That's what makes this whole thing so fascinating. We're seeing a new era unfold,
Right.
and the rules are still being written. Tons of uncertainty, but also tons of opportunity.
It's like the Wild West, but digital.
Exactly. And the people who are brave enough to explore it, to innovate, to challenge the way things are done, those are the ones who will shape the future.
Okay, we've talked a lot about the potential benefits, but let's be real, there are risks too, right?
Of course, like any new technology, we already talked about privacy concerns, but there's also the whole issue of volatility.
Oh, yeah, that infamous crypto roller coaster. One day you're up, next day you're down, enough to make anyone dizzy.
It can be tough for crypto to gain widespread acceptance as a stable currency when the value fluctuates like that. Businesses get hesitant to accept it if the price could tank overnight.
And for everyday people, it feels like gambling sometimes, putting your money into something that could lose half its value in a flash.
That's why education's so important. People need to understand the risks, the potential for loss, and why it's so crucial to diversify.
So don't put all your eggs in one crypto basket, right?
Exactly. And there's also security to think about. You hear about hacks, scams, people losing their crypto all the time. It's still a bit of a wild west out there.
So, like the gold rush, potential for riches, but lots of danger too.
Perfect analogy. And just like the gold rush, some people will strike it rich and others will lose everything. It's high stakes.
Okay, so we've got volatility, security risks. Anything else to be worried about?
Well, there's the environmental impact. Some cryptos, like Bitcoin, use a ton of energy to mine. That's raised some serious concerns about their carbon footprint.
So, not all sunshine and rainbows in crypto land?
There are always trade-offs, just like with any new tech. But the key is to be aware, to see both the good and the bad.
So, how do we navigate this complex and constantly changing world?
Stay informed, read, research, listen to podcasts like this one. The more you understand how crypto works, the better decisions you'll make.
Knowledge is power, especially in this crazy crypto world.
Couldn't agree more. And don't be afraid to ask questions, challenge assumptions, really think critically about the information you're getting.
So, don't just follow the hype, do your own homework.
Exactly. And remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. The crypto world is constantly changing, so stay curious, stay engaged, and get ready for a wild ride.
Sounds like an adventure. With all the risks, it's easy to get stuck in the fear and uncertainty.
Yeah, but fear can paralyze us. It can stop us from trying new things, exploring new possibilities.
So, how do we balance that caution with a bit of optimism?
I think it's about focusing on the potential. What positive impact could crypto have on the world? Imagine a fairer financial system, more opportunity, more transparency, more accountability. Those are things worth striving for, even with all the uncertainty.
It's about remembering the why, the vision that started this whole revolution.
Exactly. And when you connect with that purpose, it gives you the energy to keep going.
So it's about finding your own why and letting it guide you.
Absolutely. And when enough people share that same purpose, that's when real change happens.
Okay, so we've talked about the individual journey, but what about the collective effort? How do we work together to shape the future of crypto in a way that actually benefits everyone?
Now that's where things get really interesting. That's where things get really interesting. Yeah. It feels like we're standing at the edge of something massive, a tech frontier that could change everything. But how do we make sure this crypto revolution actually benefits everybody, not just a select few?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's like we've all got pieces of this huge puzzle and we're trying to figure out how they fit together to make a picture everyone can be proud of.
Exactly. So where do we even begin? I think it starts with conversation, just open and honest dialogue about the potential, the risks, the challenges, the opportunities, all of it.
So, not just preaching to the choir, but talking to the skeptics, even the people who are totally against crypto.
Exactly. We need to bridge that gap, create a space where everyone can be heard, all those different perspectives considered. It's that understanding, finding common ground, working together to build a future that reflects our values.
That sounds tough, especially in a world that feels so divided these days.
Oh, it won't be easy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's possible. It starts with each of us, being willing to listen, to learn, to have those conversations respectfully, even when we disagree.
So, building bridges, not walls.
Exactly. And remembering that we're all in this together, really. The choices we make now about crypto will have consequences for a long time.
No pressure, right? But seriously, it feels like we're at a crossroads here. We can either let fear and division win, or we can choose collaboration, innovation. That's a big decision.
And I think that choice comes down to each person. What role do you want to play? Are you going to sit this one out, or are you going to step up and be a part of the solution?
It's about taking responsibility, right? Or recognizing that we all have a stake in this, a responsibility to shape how things turn out.
Exactly. And that can look different for everyone. Maybe it's educating yourself, talking to your friends and family about crypto and blockchain, supporting those organizations that are pushing for responsible adoption. Maybe it's getting involved in politics, advocating for policies you believe in.
So it's about using your voice, your vote, your money to make a difference.
Exactly. Every action counts, even the small ones.
Okay, feeling inspired over here, but let's be honest, changing the world takes time. How do we stay motivated when the road ahead looks long and uncertain?
I think it's about remembering the why. Why are we doing this? What future are we trying to build? For me, it's about a world where technology is actually helping people, where financial systems are fair and accessible, where we all have more control over our own lives.
That's a powerful vision, remembering that crypto isn't just about the tech, it's a movement, a real force for change.
Exactly. And that connection to a bigger purpose, that's what keeps you going when things get tough.
So find your why and let it guide your actions, your choices, your interactions with others.
Absolutely. And when enough people connect to that shared purpose, that's when we see real transformation.
Okay, one last thought experiment. Fast forward 10 years. What does the world look like in this crypto utopia?
Oh, wow, that's fun. I see a world where sending money is easy no matter where you are. No borders, no restrictions. Access to capital isn't a problem anymore, and everyone has control over their own data and digital identity.
So empowering individuals, creating a more level playing field, fostering innovation all over the world.
Exactly. And I see blockchain being used to solve some of the toughest problems we have, like climate change, supply chain issues, access to healthcare.
It's about using technology to do good, solve real problems, make a better future for everyone.
That's the dream, right? And it might seem impossible, but I think we can get there. We just need to be bold, be creative, work together, and never give up on that vision.
Well, I'm definitely feeling energized, ready to be a part of this future.
That's the spirit. And remember, we're not just along for the ride, we're creating the future. So let's go build something amazing.
Well said. That about wraps things up for this deep dive into the world of crypto and governments. Hopefully, you're walking away with a better understanding of how it all works, a sense of the possibilities, and most importantly, feeling like you can be a part of it all.
Stay curious, stay informed, stay engaged. The future is waiting to be written, and you have a role to play.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And until next time, keep exploring the amazing world of crypto.